My favorite hikes of 2025. So the year is coming to an end here soon, and for me, 2025 was a year of lots of exploring, lots of traveling, driving across the continental US in my Ford F-150, doing some truck camping, and a lot of hiking. I also went to a couple other countries this year, which was fantastic, but for this video, we're going to focus on my favorite hikes of 2025, and believe me, it was hard to choose. As I've said countless times on this channel before, my favorite kind of hikes are the empty, desolate backwoods trails where I'm the only person, I don't see anybody else, and I can just fully immerse myself in nature and the sounds and the feel and the atmosphere without worrying about a crowded trail or noisy kids or what have you. And I feel it's only fitting to start this video off with what I consider to be my favorite hike of all time as of right now. The Big Laguna Mountain Loop Trail in Cleveland National Forest in Southern California. This trail is 10.2 miles long, it takes about 5 hours to do, and you gain just about 1,200 feet of elevation. I love this trail so much because not only do you get a wide selection of landscapes to look at as you're hiking this 10-mile beast, I'm talking lakes, meadows, forests, snow-covered mountains, views of a dry, sandy desert. I mean, seriously, this trail pretty much has everything you can think of. And another reason why it sticks out so much to me is when I visited this trail, it was early February, it was cold, it was snowing, it was super foggy out. There was only one other person on the trail while I was there, and I got to just experience true bliss. Like, this hike was so excellent. I seriously think about it a few times a week to this day. I started my day off waking up in my truck in the desert before driving up a mountain and ending up somewhere entirely different. Freezing cold, snowy, foggy, completely the opposite of the warmer, dry, and sunny desert that I just came from. The thick white mist, the fact that I was getting slightly wet, but I was wearing all the waterproof hiking clothing, so I was staying dry enough. It was so cold and it was snowing for most of the time, and you couldn't see more than, 100 feet in front of you. It really just felt whimsical and like I was walking through this fantasy world. Doing this trail, I had my earbuds in listening to Lord of the Rings, as I do with nearly every hike. For me, it just really elevates the experience. Mount Laguna's video on my channel is titled A Real Life Fantasy Hike for a reason. I mean, the granola bars that I had in my pack were frozen, so every time I went for a snack, I had to gnaw at them. And there were some sort of military or army activity going on while I was there because I saw numerous people in military fatigues with their gear doing some sort of training exercise. So that just added to the mysticism. I would randomly see a person crouched in the bushes on the side of the trail as I walked by. So it kind of always kept me on my toes, because they would scare the shit out of me. But obviously now I know that they weren't doing me any harm. The first 2 times I saw them, I was like, oh my god, this guy is following me. But then I saw a couple more of them together and realized it must be some sort of training exercise. How fortuitous were these circumstances that I got this thick mist and snow. I was dressed for the occasion, no one else was there, and I got this beautiful hike that showed me almost everything of what Southern California has to offer with its landscape. This wind just will not let up, but my goodness, look at where we are right now. And I know there's plenty to see here. I know there's meadow, which is what I'm assuming we're in right now. There's a lake, there's some woods. So we're going to be seeing a lot on this trip. I really need to protect my eyes here because this frozen fog is blowing with force and it's hitting my eyes. And it feels very not good, very unpleasant. So I'm trying to keep these two together as much as possible. But right now, we're in a wide open meadow. It is absolutely gorgeous. After we just came through a small copse of trees, I'm hoping there's going to be a bigger forest section, and I believe there is. This is not what I pictured when I thought of California. I'm loving it though. Much less snowy, much more wet out here. It smells like a freshly rained on forest. Just fresh trees, crisp leaves. Reminds me of autumn in New York. Oh shoot, I think we just came to the lake. Oh my god, I didn't even see it. We're definitely gonna get down there and take a closer look. And just like that, the landscape is swallowed by fog again. Those are the rocks we were just at. Now you can't even see them. You can't see the lake at all. This is incredible. I know I didn't get it on camera, but that was the second time I ran into a guy wearing full camo, and he just appeared out of nowhere and scared the crap out of me. Second time that happened. I don't know if you could see him, but he's over there again. Okay, I'm getting the feeling that there's a lot of them because I keep seeing them. So, it must be some military training exercise or something like that. It's just so dreamy out here. I love everything about it. The landscape is fantastic. It just feels like something I would dream up as a kid. Like when I'm picturing fantasy lands or reading a book that's out in the woods or something, like this is what I would picture. It's so fantastic. I've learned something very important from this trip. I prefer hiking in trees way more than in desert. I think it's because in the desert, it feels like you're just slogging along or pushing for what, a rock formation? Yeah, those are cool, but everything around you is dry and quiet. In the forest, you're surrounded by life. Animals, flora, fauna. It's just us as humans and nature have some sort of special connection, and I feel like it just radiates when you're in the forest. I feel like it bounces off of every living thing in here. And it's such a special feeling. I'm really, really glad we did this hike today. Look at this. Is this a bunch of squirrels hiding their nuts in this tree? There's another one over here. Why are there so many holes, and why are they all stuffed with acorns? That's so weird, right? My legs are a little cooked from the last few days of hiking, but I am so euphoric right now. I have like runner's high. My legs are tired, but they just keep working. Oh no, someone's pube weave came off. Horrible. Doesn't it look like this tree is punching this tree out and he's like, oh, and his arm's flying back and everything. Well, apparently we made a wrong turn quite a ways back. That blue dot is us. We're supposed to be on that green line. So, we're pretty far out. Sun's poking out. Everything looks way different in that full sunlight. Turn the fog and snow back on. It's way more atmospheric. Are you kidding me? This is some of the most beautiful nature I have ever seen. All the trees got frosted tips and it looks so good. Oh my god. Wait, what just happened? We went from being in snow, everything's wet, and now it's sunny, the sand looks dry, and it's so much warmer here. It's so much warmer. I just cannot get over how it looks. It's so gorgeous. Oh my god. It's literally like Ireland or Scotland. I can't believe that. I cannot believe that. And then when we get back to the car, we're gonna drive 45 minutes and go back to sleeping in the desert. Are you kidding me? Real cold out here. Look at that. See this? Man. Oh my god, oh my god. My hands are like gonna fall off, dude. God, that wind was insane. Holy crap. Check that view out though, my goodness gracious. We're at 5,906 feet of elevation right now. And this wind is so relentless. It's impressive. I'm crouched down, hiding behind some bushes right now because I had to look at the map again. Oh my god, I'm scared to stand up. I just can't get enough of that wind. It's so fast. And I come from a state where we get hurricanes all the time, but wind this consistent and strong is something I don't know if I've encountered before. It just doesn't stop. There's no breaks, there's no gaps. No wind, no breaks. Look down there while we have a gap in the fog. Oh my god. That is so beautiful. mountain. Here comes a fresh wave of fog. The wind is coming at us full force again. That view is just crazy, man. I didn't even know we were right on the mountain's edge like this. I thought we were still going that way. Like, I cannot see anything until it clears up like this. And it just, oh my God. Trail is one of the best I have ever done. I'm so glad we did the loop the way that we did as well, because saving these awesome mountain views for the very end, that's real special. Like the evolution of us seeing everything, starting with, you know, just regular foresty type scene, to the meadow, to the real forest, to the mountaintop with those crazy trees, and now down here with the view. Perfect evolution. Absolutely incredible. I cannot believe this place. If you guys are ever near Southern California and you're into hiking, check out Mount Laguna. I think we're like right at the end of the trail. Oh. And there's Johnson. Okay, that was, like I said, one of the best hikes I have ever done. I really cannot think of another hike that was as special to me as this one. It came at the perfect time in my journey, and it was just definitely somewhere I want to go again, and I definitely want to do this hike again, and I definitely want to show friends and family this hike. That's how good it was. And while we're on the subject of magical snowy hikes and cold, cold temperatures, we're gonna move all the way across the country from Southern California to upstate New York. A few months ago, I was in upstate New York and I visited a place called Gilbert Lake State Park. This was another magical winter hike for me. I absolutely adored the scenery. There was nobody there at the park, just a few people doing work for the next summer season. This place was fantastic because there's marked out trails for people to get from lodges to campsites to the lake. It felt almost Silent Hill, but in a pleasant way. There were signs telling people where to go and just so much infrastructure built to house and hold and maintain hundreds of people. And me being the only person there in a thick blizzard was very enjoyable. The snow was falling hard on me, but again, I was wearing my winter hiking gear, so it wasn't bothering me. I was really enjoying having snowflakes land in my eyelashes, and I soaked in every second of that scenery because it does offer a very unique hiking experience to someone like me who's used to hiking on flat sand. Well, good news. We found it. Some deer gore here. Nice rib cage and still some fur on that one. Yummy. So All Trails has us going this way, but this way kind of looks pretty magical, so I think I'm gonna go this way instead. These woods seriously look like they're straight out of the Green Knight or something. Super awesome. It's really snowing now. right into my eyes. Whew. And I see another little stone structure in here. I have no idea what that even is, but it's just super cool. Makes you literally feel like you're in a fantasy world like Lord of the Rings or something, discovering these old mysterious ruins and everything. It's so awesome. This right here absolutely looks like it's straight out of Sleepy Hollow, the Johnny Depp movie. That's one of my favorite like movie atmospheres. I think everything, the setting is just done so well in that movie, and it always makes me want to just be in New England. And well, here we are. Sewer? Sewer and water. What's that doing out here? Well, it looks like we finished the Deer Run Trail, because now we're out here at this road with some campsites. It's cool just being out here all by myself. Like, no one's out here on these roads. But I want to get back on the trail. Oh, we got one. I'm assuming it's that grass thing right there. And it's starting to snow pretty good again, which makes me happy, because the vibe is immaculate with the snow. I'm having so much fun out here. I want to get every trail. Park's not that big, so I think we can. Oh no, my feet are starting to get wet. Oh, I can feel it in my sock. Oh, it's like the whole thing is just a bog. So that's probably why my my feet are getting so wet. Look, we found another one of these things. Are these like old wells or something? Like, what is that? I have no idea what that would be. Oh, okay, I know where we are now. We came from that way. This sign says Ice Pond and Spring Pond is that way. So I think let's go check those out. I love how this sign just says wilderness. Like, if you go that way, you're on your own. We don't really know what's out there. Like, I'm not sure which pond this is, but we're almost at the very top of the park. It's pretty pretty, but there's a couple other things I want to show you over here. For one, this foundation over here. So I wonder if someone way back in the day had a little lake property. And also, check this out. We got some active beavers over here. That's crazy. That's so crazy. I know beavers are all over the place in upstate New York, especially this area. I mean, my grandparents have beavers living in their pond right at their house. But still, it's just wild to see what they actually do to trees. Like, dude, that's crazy. Here's what they've been getting up to. It's a pretty large dam. And it looks like up here, there's even more. I wonder how much of this is just debris that's fallen down and how much is beaver construction, because it looks like a lot of that is beaver construction. And obviously all of this is. It just looks so beautiful with the snow. Maybe that's a little beaver path right there. Ooh, so cold. I thoroughly enjoyed that hike. I remember I even ended it off by cooking a meal in the back of my truck in the parking lot because no one else was around. It was so peaceful there, and sometimes I wish I could go back just because it was an excellent place to recollect my thoughts. And now, switching it up to a more recent hike, I'm going to take you back out west to Utah all the way to Bryce Canyon National Park. The particular hike that I want to look at Bryce Canyon is the Sheep Creek and Swamp Canyon Loop. I've talked about this one a couple times on the channel because of how special it was to me. This was a 4.4 mile trail, and again, a loop, which are my favorites because you get to see something new the entire time you're hiking. Similar to the last two hikes, the weather was foul by normal standards, but I really enjoy hiking in rain or fog or cold temperatures because you are more likely to be isolated on the trail. And that's exactly what this experience was like. We found it on a whim on the paper map, began our hike. It was raining so hard we had to take shelter under a tree for a little while, otherwise we would have been entirely soaked, even wearing waterproof clothes. But once the rain lightened up a little bit, we were able to continue on our way and enjoy orange desert sands with lush foliage all around us, beautiful flowers and colors everywhere. It was just insane. I can't believe that this exists. Similar to Southern California, it's like you're just hiking through the desert, but there's all this vegetation around for some reason, and it almost feels otherworldly, unnatural, but it is the most gorgeous thing. Hiking up orange rocky mountains while looking at yellow wildflowers littering a meadow below, I mean, that was just fantastic. All the interesting rock formations of Bryce Canyon, the thick fog and gray sky, the colder temperature, the Lord of the Rings in our ears, and also being able to share this hike with someone else just made it all the more special. So, this is wet. We took shelter under that pine tree for a while, and it rained pretty heavily. As you can see, the trail is now a small stream. But the rain has lightened up, and we are foolish enough to continue on. I was like, we're gonna be in the desert, it's not even gonna rain. Yeah. This trail is beautiful. And if you're a frequent viewer of the channel, you know what we do on these beautiful, peaceful trails. We bump some Lord of the Rings soundtrack while we're out here. Just adds to the experience, in my opinion. I love it. I love feeling like I'm on some epic journey in some fantasy land, when really I'm just in Bryce Canyon National Park, Utah, which is really cool, actually. I like this place a lot. trail is actually a small creek. So that's kind of interesting. Feel bad for wearing down the soil, but none of the trails are closed, so. It is super awesome out here though. I love it so much. This is my favorite kind of hike to do. It's so awesome when you can find a spot that's like desert, but also is super lush. Like this orange soil with all the greenery is so amazing. I don't mind the cold, I don't mind the rain, especially now that it's stopped. So we're just gonna keep cooking on this thing because it is absolutely gorgeous. Here's a big hollowed out burnt tree.
It's insane.
Pretty wild. God, it's so pretty. So we went counterclockwise on the trail because that's what everyone on all trails says to do. Said it would be easier. This uphill has been quite a while. So
like a mile.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if this is like the hardest part. I don't know. So right now it seems like going the other way would have been better. We've come pretty far up. And it's still just a pretty steep uphill. Hope that it ends soon. We've been climbing for a long time.
Oh, it was worth it.
Okay, so that guy on all trails was right. He said it's gonna feel like you're climbing forever, and then you reach a pine meadow where it levels out for a long time. Thank God.
It's beautiful too.
It was all crazy uphill and then boom, lush meadow full of trees. Oh, that's what we needed. Total change of scenery.
I am mind blown.
So the road is right there, so we can see and hear cars, and that's kind of a bummer, but the meadow view is still really nice, and I'm not complaining about going downhill. So the field smells like cow patties, but these trees here smell literally like butterscotch. The trees smell like butterscotch.
It's like a whiff.
That is a big tree. Well, we're back. 4.3 mile loop. That was so much fun. Honestly, if I were to tell you which way to go, I would go that way. I feel like that way is easier. We went this way. There was a ton of uphill, but I feel like the uphill you have to do going that way would be comparatively less. I'm hoping we can find another hike like this while we're still here, because that was great. I look back very fondly on this one. I saw 2 other people while hiking this trail. And again, it was a trail that offered a lot of scenery while we were on it. You get to see so much. It was so peaceful. It was absolutely wonderful. And I recommend anybody who visits Bryce Canyon to check out the Swamp Creek Trail. The next fantastic hike that I want to talk about is also in the Great American West. It's in New Mexico, and it's not really a dedicated trail, but more so just all of the hiking in this area. It's BLM land called Fort Stanton/Snowy River Cave National Conservation Area. I stayed in this spot for probably the longest out of anywhere on all of my truck camping travels, just because the land itself was so gorgeous. It literally reminded me of Lord of the Rings. Same thing we've been saying about a lot of it. There was desert, there was a lot of vegetation, and in the distance there were snow-capped mountains that you could see very clearly, and it just felt literally like you're in a fantasy world. And the way the trails were, most of them were single lane, very small, not wide at all, and just carved right through the middle of these vast grassy meadows, and you would just follow that through these grassy hills for miles and miles and miles and miles, and you could just let your mind go, listen to the music, look at the mountains in the distance. It was life-changing. Those were the hikes that really made me fall in love with truck camping and realize that it wasn't foolish for me to do this thing, you know, spend all this money and get out there and leave my family and friends and do it. You see that cliff over there? That little rock face? I don't know how to get there, but I'm going to. There's a rock. I believe that tree there to be the tree that I stopped at and took some pictures. Finally found a road, which is nice because cross-countrying through this tall grass and trees and all these ditches would be significantly harder. But I'm going to climb back up to that tree once we're done over here. Okay, we're back over here. You see that tree up there? Right there. I'm gonna teleport us up there. Oh, wait, what? This is only halfway. Oh, there we are. And as a matter of fact, this is the tree that I took pictures under, because there's that little dirt patch there. We came from all the way over there, where you can see those rocks. Teleporting takes a lot out of you. So I'm gonna catch a rest under this tree real quick. Most of the time, I just totally did my own thing while I was out here. I was hiking every day out there and just leaving my truck in the same general spot. And as I said, there were just miles of trails to explore, jutting out in every direction, being like, oh, I don't have to just walk on the trail. I can see something in the distance that I think looks cool and I can just walk to it. How often do we as human beings do that anymore? How often do we see something cool and we can just walk to it, like beeline to it? not very often. We got to stick to sidewalks and roads and, move around other objects and whatever.
You wouldn't part an old man from his walking stick.
It's truly a transcendent experience listening to the Lord of the Rings soundtrack while hiking with snowy mountains in the distance and this wide open space all around and nothing to do all day but hike. This is a lifelong dream come true for me. Looks like we've come to some of the remains of Fort Stanton. I have no idea what this used to be. I hear this place was used as a POW camp. I don't know when. I haven't seen any signs or anything. But this is cool that there's still like this much left. Does look like someone was staying here at one time, based off the mattress and torn up sheets. State property. Keep the F out. Well, that's cool. I'm just trekking over here to get back to the trailhead just up there, and there's all these signs about high pressure gas line. Yeah, literally smells like gas. I'm going back the way we came. I'm still on that Fort Stanton trail, and I will be on it for a little while, and then it sort of meets with another trail, and then I'm hoping to get on there, and I think it brings me to the cave, because this area that I'm at supposedly has a massive cave. Who knows how far away it is? Who knows how far I've already walked? I don't know. I want to say 2.5 miles. That's how it feels. Welly well, we've been walking for probably another half hour since I last filmed. And we found ourselves a nice little ravine, gorge, whatever you call this. I think I'm gonna stop and sit right here and eat myself some lunch. Trail apples just taste better. We've covered a lot of ground today. I'm hoping that the trail that we're on right now leads us to the cave. I've been looking at the map and it goes to somewhere called Cave Canyon. That's the only thing about cave that I've been able to find on the map. Regardless, this is just fantastic. And I'm still listening to Lord of the Rings and it really just feels fantastical. To give you some perspective on how far we've gone today, that hill over there in the distance is sort of where the truck is. And then we walked all the way around these group of hills in the distance over to here where it was flat. And then we came back around, crossed the road, and now we've been in this huge wide open plain for probably about half an hour. And the wind is relentless, so I'm really glad that I have my beanie and my Carhartt, because it's completely blocking out the wind, thankfully, and this wind is quite chilly. So we've just come from real far away. I know I keep saying that, but there's no other way to put it. And normally the trail would have you crossing over this little frozen river, but it says closed, and it's redirecting you to over here to go under this road. Let me not fall and bust my butt. Alright, well, we made it through. I don't know how much farther we have to go. We're gonna have a long way back. Okay, I give up. I was trying to find the Snowy River Cave because that's like what this whole place is called, Snowy River Cave, and there's so much crap about the cave itself online, but I can't find where the heck it is. I thought it was gonna be somewhere over in this direction, but my heart kind of dropped when I got out way over there and saw that it's nothing but flat. This spot was marked as Cave Canyon on the map, but there's nothing here. So, I mean, it's still nice. I'm enjoying being out here, obviously, and I love the hiking, but that's just a little disheartening that I couldn't find what I was looking for. Who knows, maybe it's on the complete other side of this conservation land. I have no idea. I can't find anything about it online anywhere, so if anyone knows where the heck the actual Snowy Cave is at Snowy Cave Conservation Lands in New Mexico, please let me know. 1:52 p.m. when I started walking back. Let's see how long it takes me to get back to the truck, since I can't measure miles or anything. Oh, look at that. It was just freezing cold. Now it's really hot. It's been just about an hour since I last filmed. So the land is in like 3 sections. Over these mountains is where the truck is. The middle section is right there where that campsite is. And then there was another road to cross where that giant wide open space where I turned around was. So, we're mostly there. These trails in New Mexico really were the solidifying factor for everything for me. They were what I wanted my journey to be. And looking back on it, I wish I had spent more time there, but while I was in it, I was just so eager to explore as much as I could. And that's why I moved on somewhat quickly. I definitely will go back at some point. I would love to go back at around the same time of year, early February, late January. Not a lot of people there, although they do allow hunting there. So if you're hiking around the Fort Stanton area, please be sure to wear a bright orange hat or vest or something just so you don't accidentally get shot. There were definitely a lot of people shooting guns while I was hiking around, and just better safe than sorry. But that was just a totally unique experience. It felt like I was in an open world video game. Very fun, very unique. I would love to go back there because I just can't imagine a more peaceful setting. Finally, another more recent hike that I know I've talked about a few times on this channel, but it is just too good not to share. We're back in Utah at Canyonlands National Park, specifically the Island in the Sky portion, and the trail I'm talking about is the Lathrop Loop Trail. It says it's a loop, but it's more realistically an out and back because the trail is so long. I believe it can go over 10 miles, and as far as I know, it goes all the way down the canyon, hundreds and hundreds of feet of elevation, which I did not do the whole thing. I spent a couple hours on it, but did not meander my way all the way down these massive canyons. This trail is another one that offers a feast for the eyes. I mean, not even talking about the variety of landscapes you get to explore on this trail, just the constant view in front of you on the horizon of the absolute gargantuan canyons that make up the Canyonlands National Park. While you're on this trail, you fully understand why this section of the park is called Island in the Sky. You feel like you are floating miles above everything else just because of how vast the surrounding canyons are. Sometimes it even looks like there's a giant ocean in front of you because obviously it gets more blue the further away it is because atmosphere or something, I don't know, but it just looks so rich in the distance. You almost can't believe how vast of a landscape you're looking at. Oh, y'all already know we got some Lord of the Rings bumping on this trail. So we just came over this hill and we're greeted with this insane view of the canyon far off in the distance. It almost looks like the ocean. It's insane. Oh look, is that a little toilet?
What?
Is that a little toilet? Wow.
What do you think this was?
I don't know.
Somebody's house?
Doubt it. Doubt it.
Yeah,
It's cool though.
it is cool.
Look at this, man. Doesn't it look like
Whoa.
Africa? It's so pretty. And I hope it shows up on camera, but you can see nothing but canyons on the horizon.
Oh my god.
It's so massive out here. This part of the park that we're in is called Island in the Sky, and it definitely feels like that. It definitely feels like you're on some huge floating island. So cool. Fantastic.
Mm.
Just looks like some giant playground or something. Guys, look at this view. It is literally as far as the eye can see. Canyons. What? It feels like the Grand Canyon. It's huge. We met someone on the trail who said something about a giant sand wave, and that kind of looks like it. He said we have to go up it. So, thinking this is the right thing, we're gonna go up it.
Wow.
Some poop. Wow.
Wow. He's right.
This just looks like you want your skateboard or something, or a mountain bike. Just roll all over this stuff. That view though, good lord. There's some real sand dunes down here now, and thank God for whoever set up all these little rock piles, because otherwise the trail would be hard to find. But they're here, so the trail is pretty easy to follow. Actually, there's a lot of them. You can see literally we need these piles because otherwise it's just rock. You would have no idea where to go. Thankfully, when there's sandy parts and you see footprints, you know you're on the right track. Like I said, not hard to follow this trail, and it is so worth it. It's so beautiful. You get to see a little bit of everything. climb on these red rocks, climb on some white rocks, go through some sand dunes, go through some grassland. This is definitely becoming one of my favorite hikes. Look at this canyon. This cliff right here is like hundreds of feet down. Oh God, please stay back. I'm not even afraid of heights, but standing on a cliff edge like that, where it's that freaking huge, that'll do something to you. I'd zip line across it though.
Oh no, you couldn't pay me money to do that.
If I had a parachute strapped to my back, I'd zip line it.
Yeah.
So you got this huge plateau and then it drops into this trail here. We thought it was just gonna be like a cliff drop, but no, it looks like it tapers down, which is good because these heights are fierce. Look at this view, guys. Is that the Colorado River out there, or is that the green or white river?
River, yeah.
But look, you can see the trail down there, and I'm wondering if that dirt path all the way down there is the same trail. That's the Colorado River? Well, that's pretty insane.
I think that is the path, because look at jackknifes here. Right there like that, so I think that is it. Also, we will know when the 5 whatever is done, because we'll come to this like road, I think.
That road all the way down there.
Yeah,
However far we get before we want to turn around, that's what we'll do.
Yes.
Because you don't want to play around out here in this heat. This is the trail. And there's that. Just, oh my God.
Wow.
If you're afraid of heights, I don't know, maybe skip this one. Maybe skip most of the park, to be honest. This trail looks like it's getting a little intense up here. It looks like it just drops off the edge of the cliff, which I'm sure it doesn't, but oh God.
Oh, I don't know.
Is that seriously it? There's no way.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, it's not that bad.
Okay.
We thought we were gonna have to go like up there or something.
Yeah. I was like, nope, turn around. This.
Dude. It's just such a steep freaking trail.
I guess it really does go down there where we were at, or looking at.
Yeah, maybe we'll get to like over there and then turn around.
I like that idea, that big rock there.
This is just Mars. This is just Mars, dude. It's like orangey, reddy purple. I just cannot believe this. Amelia pointed out that that canyon over there looks like a giant road that just like crumbled and fell in. And the Colorado River all the way out there, it's so green. Everything is orange and then there's just this band of green up there. Incredible. We're so high up right now. I don't even know how many miles away that rock is. Like, this is so unbelievably big.
I don't think the camera's gonna do it justice.
Heading back up now. Trail is still insane. Super hot out here because it's almost 1 o'clock now. Excellent trail. No way we're doing the full 10-mile version. So we just spun around. Okay, update. It's a lot harder staying on trail going back. We've gotten lost a couple times. It's just not as easy to see these things when you're going up and they're above you.
Yeah.
But so far so good. Thankfully there's also footsteps here to guide us. So we're all good. We even just met a lovely ranger out here going for a hike himself. Very cool, very awesome trail. Highly recommend it if you want to get a little bit of everything while you're here. Maybe you only got time for one hike. Personally, I would say this one. We made it back to the road, back to Johnson. It's lunchtime. The whole thing is really just a treat, like in every sense of the word. Lathrop Loop definitely makes this list, even if I technically haven't completed the entire thing, just because it is certainly a hike that I would want to do again. And even though it was sunny with big, bright blue skies the entire time we were there, it still felt mystical, magical, all those words that I used to describe some of the other hikes in this list. If I were to give you my top 3 hikes of this year, and funnily enough, all time, I think I would go Mount Laguna number 1, Canyonlands Lathrop Loop number 2, and number 3 would have to go to Swamp Creek. I had a blast doing each and every one of these trails. Everything that's on my YouTube, most of it is hiking. I had so much fun doing all of them. It's always just such a joy to film a trail and share my thoughts with you guys, and even for me to look back on it later on and see what I was thinking and feeling in that moment. Sometimes I can remember what I was clearing my head from, or if I was just enjoying the bliss of being in nature at the time, and it's just so much fun. I'm glad I got to share all this with you guys. I believe this right in front of us is the start of the Elephant Knees hike. I believe it is. There's no like official marking for it. I do see a bunch of footprints, some old, some a little newer, so that gives me hope that we are on the right track here. This is definitely one of the most desolate hikes I've ever done. We're really far off grid. Well, I'd say it's about to get real hard to know where we're going. I was having a hard enough time keeping up with the footprints as it was. And now with all these rocks. Well, now there's nothing. No tracks in the sand. And there's not a single sound out here except for my footsteps and the occasional deer flies buzzing around me. Taking a quick detour up this really rocky mountain just so I can see where the Elephant Knees even are, so I even know where I'm heading. No way. Another person has been up here before, going this exact same way. What? What? Those are footprints. What? Okay. Oh. Well, there's the Elephant Knees. No way. I see water down there. Screw it. I'm just gonna try to get over to the Elephant Knees. Wind caves are north, almost northwestern. Because of course there's the mountains there. And I don't think I'd hit those mountains without seeing the wind caves over there. So, and if we can find the wind caves, we can get back on the trail, which will lead us down to the wash, and eventually we'll get back to the truck. You can totally imagine all of this being underwater. Like, it looks like it. I feel like we can make our way down somewhat reasonably over here. I keep seeing this stuff glittering. I wonder if it's pyrite. It's looking like this is going to be the hardest part. All these rocks and how loose they are makes it really tricky. We have successfully descended from up there, and now we've just got to make our way across some of these wastes. There's a bunch of this stuff around. You see how it shines in the sun? I'm wondering if these guys are salt deposits. This feels really cool to walk on. It feels almost like that's rubbery tarmac looking stuff they lay down at playgrounds. The last stretch, climbing the thing. Oh boy. This is probably going to be a bit trickier than I thought. Well, I knew it was going to be tricky. I'm entirely swallowed by mud mountains right now. With each step, I hope that this mud mountain has been dried enough by the sun. I'm not going to sink down into it. That last bit there, I had to get on my hands and knees and climb and claw my way up here. Oh, got these rocks made of old shell and coral pieces, and they look and feel exactly like rocks that we have in our garden back home in North Carolina that are made up entirely of old shells and coral and used to be at the bottom of the ocean. Only of course these are orange, and the ones we have back home at our house are gray. We're nearly there now. Got a little cut on my finger. That's okay. Whew. Woo! We did it. Made it to the top. Oh my god. Oh my god. I can see Johnston from here. Holy crap. Look, that is what we just climbed up. Solo, freehand, horsefly trying to eat me. Look at that, man. Look at that. We did it. And I can see the truck from here. That is something I have never done before. Climbed a mountain, like for real, for really real, not on a trail at the Grand Tetons or whatever. That's a first for me. Look at this though. We made it, guys. We made it together. Lunch. Eating this like a go-go squeeze. So my truck's over there, and it looks like this one wash pretty much snakes all the way over here to the foot of the mountain. I'm gonna see if we can get down on this side. As pretty as it is up here, there's no wind, and that sun is just baking. So let's try and make our way back down. All right, here we go. Just being real careful going down this. Next time I'm still bringing my GoPro. Just trying to work my way over to that patch of sand there, mud, whatever, because then it's way easier for us to slide down. And coming this way, we're also a lot closer to the wash that we need to travel on, so there will be less travel on the ground as well. My white socks are not going to be white after this. Can't wait to get to the bottom and dump all this mud out of my shoe. I gotta do it now. The pressure in my shoe. Oh, with all this added dirt in here is crazy. Oh. A memory from 2nd grade just came back to me. Some kid on the playground telling me that McDonald's chicken nuggets were made of chicken guts. He said, you know those little yellow spots in the meat? Yeah, that's part of the chicken guts. And I believed him. But I still didn't care. I still liked my McNuggets. Okay, trying to stand now. I think we got it. Looks like this gets really steep too. That's right. We climbed up this. What? Nice. We did it. This right here is the way we climbed up. Then we just make it down there to that wash, follow it out there, and we're good. First, all right, last bit. I am the king of the dirt hill. My knees feel a little shot after all of that. Oh my God. We did it. We did it. We were up there. I think I'm pointing to the right place. I can't really see on the camera. We were all the way up there. Now we made it back down. Oh. Once we make it back to the truck, I gotta be done for the day. This desert is just sapping out all of my moisture. Well guys, we made it back to Johnson. So, we gotta drive back out of this canyon, of course. But then there's a primitive campsite right at the start of this canyon. So I want to check it out. Maybe consider spending the night there. Right out there is where we started the day. That's Wind Caves trailhead right up there. Oh, dude, city town feels. I'm usually not this beat after a hike, but that one really killed me. 2026 will probably be a quieter year for me, so if you're interested in seeing more hiking or truck camping content, dive back into my archive. You've got well over a year's worth of videos. I think there's definitely some hidden gems in there, and I hope you all have a very wonderful rest of your holiday season before the new year, and I hope 2026 is a fantastic year for all of you. Thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for supporting me on my journey. It's been so much fun, and I'll see you guys. A whole bunch of free junk wood. Super sturdy on both sides. And I also, when I turned the camera off last night, I went ahead and stained this. Well, disaster has struck. This wind is so crazy. The only visual stimuli out here. Some salty ramen after a 12-hour drive. But nothing. New Mexico, babies. So that's where I'm gonna keep you until the sun goes down.